Yo, I think we're live. What's up, guys? Welcome to another stream. My name is Hans. Remember, I am just a dude on the internet. I don't give financial advice. So let's jump right into it. So the Pulse chain ecosystem is pumping. So I'm looking for altcoins. So do leave your suggestions in the chat box so we can check them out. So yeah, it's been a rough ride in the Pulse chain ecosystem. Some coins are popping off. Some of them are still slacking and still selling off. So yeah, this is the pulse chain chart. Let's just update everyone about what we see going on here. Firstly, we have price going lower. If we zoom in on the chart, or let's do the horizontal ray, so we can show you guys that it's actually made new lows on, this is the pulse chain chart, one low, and this was the most recent low, but the indicator is creating higher lows. You can see the low here all the way to the higher low. So we do have, this is called strong bullish divergence, hasn't broken out just yet. It will be confirmed once we break above this 41. It's pretty close already to these levels, and we want this to perform pretty well. Hopefully defeat these highs up here. Otherwise, that would be bearish divergences, because that would set up, let me just remove everything, price going lower, right? Let's say we top out somewhere here at 50, yet the indicator would be higher. That's bearish divergence. And it's pretty hard to see that not happening. So it's not the best news, but obviously this can perform pretty well and maybe set a new high over there, over this level here, nullifying the bearish divergences. But that's more than a 2x from where we are currently at. But this wasn't going to be, this consolidation isn't going to be over pretty quickly, right? We should expect maybe like a little, and then a nice rally, and then a higher low set in. There's no real market structure yet. That's just a fancy way of saying higher lows. And if you do want to learn these things, go check out the link in the description down below for the Granny Style of Investing DeFi series, the DeFi edition. You can get it for $75 if you pay in crypto, but double the price if you want to pay in cash. There is a link where you can use it down in the description down below. If you are interested, do message me on Telegram. It's also down in the bottom in the description. There's a chat group, 2 chat groups, 44 slides, almost 3 hours worth of private videos. Yeah, so do check it out. Let me see who's in the chat. Almighty Mexican Shilling, Cake to the Moon. We'll look at Cake Trade Bro. Yo, with looking juicy AF. We'll, yeah, let's pull up some shitcoinery. Where Did the ETH Go is a coin created by Hexy Bastard, airdropped to the 9-inch sacrificers, also part of the Poor Pleb ecosystem, right? Hey, but Hex, what's up, dude? Good to see you here. Paper on Pulse Chain just went down hard. Good time to buy? I say yes. I actually put out a signal a few days ago to start getting interested in PayPay. But yeah, it seems like some of the PayPay FUD from Ethereum is affecting our PayPay as well. Lovely little wedge. Okay, so this is Where Did the ETH Come? Just going to remove the volume. So this is a new high, a new low here. So not the most positive thing. What you want to see is, you want to see these higher lows. Now this is a lower low, right? The opposite of what we want to see. It can go lower, doesn't mean it has to go low now. It is technically in value, right? So what you do want to see is maybe a little rally here. It come down and respect that low, and then when you get your breakout level, that's a confirmed buy. But if you like catching a falling knife, you can go ahead and get some of that. The RSI slap bang in the middle, not overvalued, not undervalued, or if you want to say oversold or overbought, not either of the two, but you're in value. Let's just paint this box green, and I'm going to remove the labels. Remove the labels. So anywhere inside of this box is fine. Generally, the darker green color is your deals, but you can get some here. Although I would like some higher lows, maybe some confirmation on the indicators to go low. Well, it's you're not buying the top, right? You're getting it pretty down. So this is not the no split section. This is actually in value if you want to start accumulating a few percentage points. Now you need to know how to manage risk. You can't be throwing everything in this coin. Like I teach all of this in my ebook if you guys want to check it out. All of the rules that you need to follow to not get absolutely destroyed in this market, right? Because people are going to be shilling you the top of these altcoins, right? People you call friends. What's your take on looking at the PL? I think that's PLSX, the PLS ratio. That's all I'm. Yeah, actually, I forgot to do that because I should have pressed the wrapped pulse button there to see, because we value these things versus pulse, right? ABIT is 100% right. I always do that. So wrapped, just to finish, where did the ETH go? Bouncing off the value area, right? This chart is actually looks a lot better because you have your higher lows down here. Where did the ETH go? Some higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. We just quickly check the indicator to see how low it's a little bit higher than the 50%. And then the last thing we can do is probably check where most of the volume was traded. So currently in this area, I mean, if you wanted to take a dabble here, the granny investor can't fault you for that. Just make sure that you can buy more as it goes down, right? That's simply what I would do. Let's look at PayPay for you. I have it listed down here. Here we go. Losing bit on the USD value. So let's look at the wrapped ETH because this is the only thing. So yeah, there are my entries. Like I entered up here because I thought it would break down, and now it's gone lower. So I'm definitely looking to get another order filled on PayPay. You're in value, right? You're not buying the top. Then we can quickly look at the indicators. We haven't made a new low yet. So this is hidden bullish divergence that we have here. Price is still higher. It depends on where this closes, right? This can be short-lived, yet the indicator is going lower. So you have divergences between the two. Generally, you need strong bullish divergence for a reversal, but this is starting to look good, right? You're getting pretty low on the RSI, and unless it is rolling over a little bit, but if you do close the candle below this 1800 level, look down below, right? It's gonna come crashing down a little bit further. Sorry about that. I just needed to chase my dog out. Yeah, what we can do is we can look at where some of the volume was traded to see where the point of control is. So we are technically below it. Sometimes these things like to come retest its previous breakout level. So this is this area here. You can see the W if I put on the line chart. The nice little W here. It's a little bit hard to see, but you're probably going to come back to retest this level. It's pretty darn close to it. So if it gets to this level, I'll definitely double up on my position on PayPay. I don't see it going anywhere There's still B-Roots is going to shill it, and I think it's going to do pretty well. So big farm where 9-inch releases. Yeah, it's actually a good point. Poor Pleb and Where Did the ETH Go? Both of them I expect to do really well. This is about to break out versus its, this is Poor Pleb versus its USD value. Let's just look at the pulse chain. This is already broken out. Actually, this is one of my signals that I gave in one of my long trades that I put in the trade channel, and we actually got it right here at the breakout level, because of that same speculation that Poor Pleb and Where Did the ETH Go would catch a nice farm, and people will FOMO into this. And this is already broken out for us. I think we're almost up like 50% already. So I don't mind sharing it here. Yeah, 40% up from where we went long on this. Poor Pleb has left the value zone. So it's getting a little bit risky to get it here. You probably just have to let this one go. But if you look at the USD pair, it's only now starting to break out. It's testing its breakout level now. And some traders, when this breaks out, they will actually buy the retest and then run it up. So, but according to the granny style, we shouldn't trade versus USD because we want to get more pulse for the bull run, right? You're compounding your pulse. And then obviously as the price goes up, let's quickly look at the RSI. I think it's probably quite extended. It's not really that bad just yet. This stochastic can chill around here for quite a while. Abit is waiting for the 9-inch to farm with Pepe and Rapol. So Pepe actually, it's another good point, might also get a bid to start farming because it's the premier copied BRC20, I should say. Let's quickly cover Cake, the coin that, so we've had a massive run up, right? Recently. Let's just swap to the Wrapped Pulse. And this was ultimately going to come back down to retest the support levels, right? If we pull up the, just bouncing off where value is at, right? You're not buying the top. It's literally sitting on the 61.8, which is the golden ratio. Ideally, you would want to get it inside of here. You can even wait for higher lows and then buy the breakout level. The RSI is almost, it's at 42. Yeah, so it's resetting pretty nicely. And whenever you have a coin that launches up like this, you should expect it to come down to value. It's always hard in the moment when you start feeling the FOMO. But yeah, just wait for it to come back to you. So yeah, this is the coin I made like, how many, like I think a few, maybe a week after Pulse Chain launched, and it surprised me how well it has done, right? All the liquidity is locked, 45% of the supply is locked till the end of 2025. So by then the bull market would be over by then. And the other 50% was locked in the V1 Pulse X liquidity pool. So it's pretty frankly just a rug proof at this time, right? I hold zero supply except that which I bought on the market myself. And with everything I do the granny style of investing. So trade at your own risk. I'm not your financial advisor, right? And please, guys, manage your risk, right? Don't throw everything in one coin. Who did TH? Thank you, Richard Hart. Corey, investor. I think I have it on my list. I should have it here. Yeah, I do. No, this is a very, and it's come down all the way. pretty darn quickly. This is the thing. It looked like it was just going to keep on going forever, right? It has like a 22% tax, which is very, very large. I don't know if it has on this. Now, guys, I'm not a fundamentalist, right? I like to act like one, but my skill, if you can say it like that, lies in looking at the charts, right? Um, so I'm not hating it, right? I'm not dating these coins. I'm simply trading it, right? Risking very small percentages, selling off in a double. Learn about it in the link in the description down below, or message me on Telegram if you want it for 50% off. But yeah, I just wait for these things to get into value, right? And this is where you should be interested, not in these massive green candles that everyone thinks it's never going to end, right? But at the end of the day, this is a reflection token. We've seen these things. I mean, look at the sell volume, 32,000. Let's look at the RSI. It doesn't mean this is over, right? And we should remember to always swap back into pulse because we want to see the value of these things versus pulse, right? It's done an amazing run, right? On very large liquidity. And I got all of these shills in my comments section on Twitter telling me that you can't sell kick. I need to look into this coin. It has so much liquidity. Now, people are probably looking for someone to blame now. Tube warriors. I'm not saying you're blaming someone, but this is where you should have been interested, right? Wait for these things to come down. Everything eventually comes down. It's just a matter of fact. Let's just look. I'm glad you actually, I'm glad you actually mentioned this in the comment section because I was looking to get some of this when it came down. Uh, yeah, so the RSI is resetting nicely. I like this because it burns a lot of Richard Hart coins. But once again, you're going to have to wait for this to W out, to create higher lows before I can be interested. And I need this to get really cheap to compensate for that to 22% tax. I hope it's not on the sell side as well. I don't see how it's not. Like all of the reflection tokens work like that. But this is a little bit different as it burns coins. So yeah, all I can tell you is this is currently back into value. Doesn't look like it wants to slow down anytime soon. Yeah, and that is when you should be starting to get interested. When people are very negative about this, wanting to blame someone, and telling you that it's dead. You can see where most of the volume was traded of this coin. Someone was accumulating this strongly down here. Now, it's a great scaling token right now. I'm just waiting for a dip. Good. Well done, bro. Because your dip is here now. And you should be keeping a close eye on this. So yeah, definitely this can go a lot lower. So let's just check on the shorter time frames. You actually have bullish divergence now forming here on the 4-hourly. Now this is a very short time frame. You shouldn't really be looking at this time frame, but you can see price is going lower. Yet the indicator is higher. Not confirmed yet. It's only confirmed once it breaks above here. But yeah, the granny can't fault you for getting a little bit here if you really need to get some here. But be prepared for this to go even a lot lower. There's lots of insufficiencies in this chart, which just means the price moved pretty quickly through these areas, and it's going to come down quicker down these areas, right? There's a famous saying that says the up moves, the market takes the stairs, and then when it comes down, it takes the elevator. And buys and sellers are equal, but massive whales are getting out of here. And you're still up. I mean, these guys that accumulated it down here still up like 700%. They're going to take a little bit of a haircut by the 22% sell tax. Can anyone tell me if they're 10% on the sell side, the place to stake it? Okay, cool. So yeah, it's not as aggressive as the 22% sell or buy tax. Okay. So that's actually not that. I mean, it's still pretty large, but we just trade it, right? We just trade these things. We do not really care about the fundamentals. In fact, I can tell you a better story just by looking at the charts than really digging into the fundamentals. But I have looked into it a little bit. I've visited their website, but the staking is new to me, and I'm definitely interested. This is why it's on my watch list, to get it when it comes down a little bit. You can see these areas here, maybe. And worst case scenario, you're going to get the $12 area. Now that Pulse is pumping, this is going to push all of these coins that we were sitting on the sidelines into value, where we can start getting interested in these things. As Pulse Chain starts putting pressure on this. Now, Pulse X, apparently the buy and burn has been disabled currently. Some people are saying it's a bug. Some people are saying updates are coming. But these are new lows on Pulse Chain. It's bounced off the 88.6 beautifully. You can see this bottom line. It literally just touched it and bounced off it. Very, very overvalued down here, in my opinion. So I should actually have been getting some here. But you always know, like I watched this last sell come in this morning, in my time. And I should have gotten some, but I do have two farms, one on PH2X and one on Pulse X. So I'm getting more Pulse X over time. So I'm happy with that, and I'm compounding it with the rewards I'm getting. So technically been dollar cost averaging all the way from the 50% somewhere here. So yeah. This is not where you should be selling, right? This is where you should be interested in getting some. Oh, we have the RSI already up. I mean, it's oversold. It hasn't been this low on the RSI ever. Let's get some more consolidation. Maybe we get the higher low to come in. Or dollar cost averaging into it here, swapping Pulse for Pulse X here, expecting it to go a little bit lower, right? It can definitely go a little bit lower, but that is the risk that we're willing to take in this market. Unfortunately, we have to take some risk. Could you take a look at water? Yeah, sure, water. We're just going to scan quickly if there's... Please throw me all of the altcoins that you guys are interested in. But you get 3 coins for staking. Oh, okay. Okay, this is where these coins come in. So there are rewards tokens. You get water. You get burn, water, and plant. Do you want me to take a look at all of them? The RSI would not have printed yet. There's not a lot of data. Okay, it has. It's not really oversold, but it's not at the higher end. It's sitting at 40. Log scale. Pretty much come down all the way. Is there any other utility to this? Now we're talking about fundamentals, but let's go on the shorter time frame. This is good to see. So you're starting to create these higher lows. It might have found its low here. No real bullish divergences to speak of just yet. I mean, you're not buying it expensively, right? It's cheap down here. Hopefully, I mean, this is a beautiful little W forming here on the 4-hourly, but we're not interested. We need to look at the higher time frames. I mean, all I can tell you is it's cheap, like really cheap. You're not buying the top or the nosebleed section. You're pretty much buying the bottom of the range. Now you do risk, one risk you do have is if you start losing these lows down here, right there, that would be its ultimate low, right? And you're not really oversold on the RSI just yet. So you might just get this to break down all the way. So one thing you can do is you can wait for the downtrend to be broken. So it's actually already broken. So the downtrend has been broken, but now you need to see market structure. You need to see higher lows come in here. This is your low down here. You have a higher low here, which is good. But then the last thing you want to see is you want to see this high broken. So it would look something like this. You need that low to hold, and then this is your confirmation to go long when it breaks above this level. I hope this is understandable. Maybe you have a retest and off you go. So we've broken the downtrend. Let's look at the logarithmic scale. It's probably better to look at the log scale. Wait for the downtrend on the log scale to be broken. But you say you can farm it anyway. You get staking rewards. That's probably something I would just take a look at. Like do it the same as all the other reward tokens that you get. Sell it for the main asset, right? Then that is frankly what most people are doing, because you don't need the token for rewards or anything like that. That's a bit concerning, because if it's just a reward token, it's a lot like, now I like Okosa and I like incentive token. I inherently keep 5% of my incentive tokens because I use the PHUX. So I am exposed to it, and I don't want to talk bad about these things. To tell you to not get into it because it's simply just a reward token. Like, I mean, if Dogecoin and Pepe can pump and Shiba Inu can pump and it has no utility, why can't those coins pump, right? Let's see if you guys want me. Yes, take it for airdrop as ability to redistribute back into scaling or other tokens. No, rich, it's 10. You can take a look at water, please. We've done water. I hope that answers your question. Yes, one. Okay, cool. Yes, please. Plant and burn. Let's look at plant. So because the main asset is selling off, so this has now broken its lows. So it's very hard to tell where this might bottom out. The RSI is terribly low. It's at 29, so it's getting oversold. You have lost your lows, so there's open space down here. But once again, doesn't mean this is never going to turn around and it's never going to be a good deal. It's cheap, right? It's pretty much at its lows. But I would definitely wait for higher lows to be created, right? Get that first low in, set a high, and then hopefully that low gets defended. And when it breaks out of this level, breaks above the higher high, sets a new higher high, that's your confirmation to go long. So you're going to have to watch this like an hawk, and you're going to hear a lot of FUD about it when it starts creating. And this is what we call market structure, higher lows, your indication to go long. So that is plant and then burn. Up 10% on the day. This looks a little bit better. Let's pull up the indicator to see how. Not really oversold just yet. Put on the log scale. It's still up a lot. It's made a new low in the last 3 days. Definitely in value. You're not buying the top. But pretty much the same story. You need this low to be defended down here. It does look like it can go a lot lower because the RSI is like at 41. Gee, this is a low, higher high, and a higher low. So if I put it on the log scale, you'll see the little W here. But it's a little bit early for this. I would like a little bit more consolidation. Have you broken the downtrend? So yeah, you've just broken the downtrend. Like, all of these are really cheap. You're just risking catching a falling knife. And the way we handle that is we ladder into these positions, right? Maybe get some here. If it goes lower, get a little bit. And small percentages, right? You can't yeah, you probably. I don't want to give out all my secrets or all my strategies, but single digit percentages should be going into these coins, right? Of your and shit. Sorry, I haven't swapped it to Pulse Chain. I keep on forgetting. This is the actual chart that we should be looking at. Sorry about that, guys. I forget my own rules sometimes. So you're at the point of control. Most of the volume was traded at this level. It's in value. You're not buying the top. Starting to create a nice little W, but this needs to hold. This low needs to hold down here. And it's battling that level right now. So yeah, there you have it. So if you really needed to get some of this and you don't want to wait, I would start nibbling a little bit. You're not the other side of the downtrend just yet. What you want to see is the downtrend be broken and then create higher lows here. And off you go. Okay, so we've covered all of this. You can grow plants and you need water, and you can earn seed and earn holy with water. Funny game. I need to learn more about this. Thank you, Richard Hart Dumped, because they started a SAC phase for THCZ, a new product on Binance. Same founders. Okay, I mean the website looks really good because they started a sack phase. So, but can you sacrifice some of the thank you Richard R tokens to the sacrifice? Because that should remove some of the supply and reduce the sell pressure. Maybe the crowd is thinking that it's the project is being diluted. I don't know. It's a funny game. But anyway, you should always just make sure you're not overexposed to a single coin, and that's just one of those things. Okay, so I'll go through some of the other coins that I have here. This is Axis Alive's coin, Axis. Really not, he wasn't very public about this. I don't think he wants to get a, I really like Axis Alive, right? It's just going straight up. They did list this with very low liquidity, a lot like Hex origin address. So it can go a lot higher before it really does a blow off top. And not many people know about this because he wasn't really public about it. You are this is bearish divergence, right? And it's been forming it all the way back here at 40, right? So unless this breaks down below this level, it's not confirmed yet. This can go on for a very long time. You would be surprised. Definitely not in value. You're not getting this cheap, right? It's up a lot. And once again, I'm not endorsing or casting flack on any coin, right? I just look at the charts, and I want these things cheap. That is my biases, right? I'm not a hater of these coins, and I don't date them. I just wait for them to get into my areas where I think they are cheap because we love a deal, and then I just sell off in a double. I'm not afraid to let go of these things when they've done their work for me as well. So yeah, Axis definitely not in value. I need to wait for this to come down, and I'll definitely get some just to support the dude as well. We've looked at PayPay. Where did the ETH go? We've looked at Axis, Hex Origin address, or Hex Origin, Hex Orange address. I think Too Spooky is the founder. Some people say it's that guy Cookies. He has me blocked, so I have no idea what's going on there. All we can do is pull up our reload zone. You should have been interesting. I need to swap the Wrapped Pulse. And I didn't do that with Axis as well. I keep on forgetting. Yeah, this is new all-time highs. It's overextended on the RSI. this is not a deal up here, right? We need to wait for it to get down to these areas. You should have been interested when this came down. You can see the nice W's down here, higher lows, higher lows. It looks like it's starting its correction now. Most of the volume was traded here in the middle of the range. This adds a little bit of confluence. Confluence is just when these lines, when your targets start overlapping, giving you an idea of where you should be interested. Not in value, need to wait for this to come down. This is the breakout level here. You can see how it acted as resistance, finally broke down, acted as support. I don't know if it actually tested that level, but there you go. X orange address not in value, unfortunately. Lots of sell volume, more than buy volume. So people are definitely exiting, profiting off this currently. Yeah, 25 million. Thank you, Richard Harder, has been sacked so far. Yeah, so a lot of the supply has been removed. So it just adds a little bit more bullishness to the case to get it when it comes down. I just don't shouldn't forget about it when that happens. I have not looked at fiat just yet. I did a private video about it earlier. But the reason everybody's looking at it now is because it's released. Now remember the saying, buy the rumor, sell the news, right? This is one of those reasons or one of those times. Doesn't mean it has to dump now, but just let's look at the wrapped pulse. Does this look to a deal to you? Now, these coins have been acting very strangely. I don't know if they played with the liquidity somehow. Listed on, it looks like it was listed on very, very low liquidity because it only still has 13K. Now, I'm not a hater of low liquidity. Kick itself has low liquidity. These things can just pump really hard on low liquidity, but you're not getting a deal here, right? This is staircasing higher. Value is, I mean, down here, right? And the liquidity issue, yeah, we just need to wait for this to play out, right? It's not there's it's not in value here. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is you're not getting a deal. You're risking buying the top here. If we look at the RSI, that's 83, 82. So this is higher. This has almost formed various divergences. It's not cheap here. Yeah, but the reason why people are interested in it is because it's pumping and it's pumping hard. Now, most of the liquidity is most likely on PHUX, and let's just pull up the PHUX. I can't do it on that chart. I need to think about how I'm going to do this quickly without doxing myself. Let's just do that. Let's just see what the liquidity situation is. Yeah, you can do a sack for TH. Why? Thank you, CZ, without a tax. 26 million TH sacked so far. Yeah, so how it works in the contract is it's literally for swapping. Like it's built into the contract, the 22%. But Ascend, they do put in a cent tax sometimes, but it doesn't want to load for some reason. Let me just see if it is grabbing. Yeah, it is. Probably need to connect my wallet for it to load. Not going to do that on stream. Yeah, so fiat not in value. I mean, value was when you sacrificed for this. Like those guys have really gotten paid because they got fiat on Ethereum and fiat on Pulse Chain. I didn't sacrifice for this, but I did sacrifice for fame, and I really like the PHUX um, exchange. I provide liquidity here. Here we go. So this is fiat here. I'm pretty sure there is another pool. Let's see. There's a 1.6 million value pool here just by fiat, and here's and another 1.6 for fiat here as well. So very large liquidity for fiat on this exchange. So the Pulse X is a little bit deceptive as it's only 11k there. Just looking if there's another. So yeah, it really doesn't matter. The liquidity is very thick for this pair. So there's a lot to sell in. I just need to wait for this to come down. I can't get it over myself to be chasing these green candles. And you can see when the release came out. Was it today? It was yesterday, yeah. Massive bumps to the upside. So yeah, I do have fame. I do farm on the PHUX, and I think they're really positive for our ecosystem. I really think it's a good thing. But versus Pulse, this is not interesting at all. And the fact it's scary up here, starting to get scary. Okay, any other coins that you guys want me to take a look at? HOC, not really quite sure what this is, but some guy asked me to take a look at this. Oh, you see, these are breaking lows here. That's not good. We'll just go on. We can't be interested in this. Unless it starts creating like really nice market structure, higher lows here, then I'll be interested again. But nothing very interesting here. EHEX, let's swap the price. This is the two hexes compared to each other. It had bullish divergences, giving us the indication that it's time to go long. It looks like it's starting to get overpriced here, EHEX versus PHEX. It's very hard to say what's going to happen here. I'd be pretty happy if it just sticks around this level and just moves sideways. Like I have both. I've had a staking ladder that got copied over, so I'm pretty happy with my X position. Honestly, I want more. Like I really like X. And I think everybody agrees with us. So that's EX. I see there is a for Zen. Now I just need to make sure that we're getting the right one here, because it was redeployed, right, on Pulse Chain. So there's two Zens. What I can do is I can just copy the contract address from the original. Just to look at the USD value or the Ethereum one. Wicks and tails like to be eaten, and this tail here is scary. Don't be surprised if the market comes all the way down to full this tail down here. Okay, so we've copied that. Let's just paste it here. So this is the copied version. Now, how are we going to find the real one? The real one, what? The redeployed one. 11k. Is it this one? When you went on a little run here recently, this is going to come down all the way to retest this breakout level. You can see the little W down here. Break out the retest, that retest what I talk about often. Pump up. You can mint it for free, right? It is in value in the local area. Made a new low recently, so yeah, I really think it's gonna come retest the breakout level down here. See where most of the volume was traded exactly at the breakout level as well. You can see the red line there. Let's pull up the RSI to see what the indicators are telling us. Not really oversold just yet. But it wasn't oversold back here before you had this nice rally. 1000, it almost gave you a 10x on this run up. Yeah, you need to manage your risk on this one. Don't throw the whole boat at it because you might get nobbered. Pulse kitten. PZen Zen is old, PZen is new. Should I type in PZen? Is this okay? Yeah, okay. Sorry about that, dude. Rich May. Yeah, these are new lows, right? Nothing bullish here, unfortunately. A most recent low, what was that? 4 days ago. We need to we need to see these this defending its lows before going along on this. We can look at the indicators, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to be sitting at the bottom. I mean, you have bullish divergences here. If you're in the game of catching falling knives, I mean, risk very little because you might just be seeing lower prices. But you don't have market structure just yet. You can pull up trend lines here and see if you've broken down trends. You have, but you don't have the W on the other side. Yeah, lost lots of inflation. I do have I minted Zen on the second day on Ethereum for 380 days. So my mint is coming out in October on a few wallets. I think I did like 14 wallets just to play the game, right? There's nothing wrong with a little bit of Ethereum's minting cost. And if it works out, it works out, right? But there's lots to keep up with. And as you guys can see, we look at a lot of charts. So this is Pulse Kitten. I know Hoddlenort. Oh no, what's his name? The guy that does chain analysis on Pulse Chain on Hex. He's been in X for quite some time. He likes this coin. Let's swap the wrapped pulse. Now once again, I forgot to swap PZen. Let's just quickly look at PZen versus its pulse pairing because I forgot again to change the pulse. Let's see if anything. Yeah, so it is defending this low, which is good to see. With pulse chain pumping, it's putting a little bit more pressure on this. So there was bullish divergences here. Price went lower, but the indicator went higher. So then you got this nice little rally. Coming down to retest these lows. What I would probably wait for is if it defends it here. I mean, that's already a 2x here. So that is technically your breakout level here. Your indication to go long and your reversal. But it's down a lot, so I don't actually, if you want to play it safe, you would need to wait for that, for a breakout. And it's a long way away. It's almost a 3x. It is a 3x away from where we're currently at. So you're leaving a lot in the market. Yeah, so sorry about not looking at that because we want more pulse, right? We want our pulse bags to increase. Time, KG, what? KG token. Okay, let me just remove everything. This was a nasty dump, and it just this was the whole SEC FUD. did a dead cat bounce, probably came right back to the just before it. Reversed, it created a little W here, and it's starting to do well. And let's just remember to swap to the pulse pairing. I mean, on this chart, it really doesn't look that bad. But this is the nosebleed section. I can't be interested up here for time. This needs to come down all the way to my buy levels. Let's look at the... Ooh, all of the volume was traded down here. And this is your breakout level. So you're risking all that from 29 pulse per time all the way to 11. And if it gets down here, I'd be very, very interested to get some. I'm waiting for other coins to burn pieces, and they are coming, like DBZen. So is it going DBZen going to be deployed on Pulse Chain? That would be actually the breakout level is here. And if we zoom in here, this is perfect. Like you create your W. If I put on the line chart, you can see these W's, right? Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. You get your breakout level, acted as resistance, breaks through, comes down and retests that level. That's a sign of strength in Wyckoff theory, and off you go. But you can see the opposite of W's. You can see M's on the charts just smiling at you. And then the market is smiling at you. It wants to take your money. So yeah, time is a little bit riskier. Let's look at internet money. Most of the liquidity is on V1. 13k liquidity. I mean, that looks good on the USD price, but this overvalued as well. I can't be getting it up here. And you can see the market smiling at you. It wants to take your money. Thoughts on PDI? What do you think of the $1? Why $1? Why not $2? Why not? I really distanced myself from, like I said earlier in the stream, like I don't really care about the fundamentals. Like, show me the chart, all right? Let's go to the chart. I've been watching the volume. And it's probably easiest just to find it on the main page. Because, yeah, it's these charts here. And I don't want to fud people's positions, right? I'll just look at the chart and tell you guys what I think, right? Right on the get-go, you guys know that I'm going to tell you that this is not where value is, right? And I'll pull up the fib tool. Technically, you are technically in value, right? But it's still, because as long as it's in these green areas, it's fine. You do have higher lows. There you go. Don't worry too much about the narrative. I mean, it's just another reason to fight with people, and I'm not keen on that anymore. We've had a lot of that during the bear market. Let's look at the RSI starting to reset, getting into these areas. But the only concerning thing I have with this chart is that look where most of the volume was traded. Actually, that looks much better, right under the 78.6 level. Everybody shouldered and was very loud in these areas up here, right? That's not the way to do it, right? These are getting more reasonable. But this chart is just straight up, right? The log chart looks amazing, right? If you're a buyer, if you were a buyer. So, I mean, if you're a granny and you're into catching falling knives, which is fine, I mean, you can get some here. It's in value. Like it's in my reload zone. Like I just don't know if it's gonna go lower. So yeah, the only way to play that is to put in small percentages and expecting to get more if it goes lower, right? Not throwing everything your whole bag into this. right? But up here was the time to be selling. And these areas here are the times to be interested. And you can see how people were stepping in to get some of this here. You can see the wicks at the bottom. And if we put on the log scale, not much difference. So yeah, this might have been the consolidation already, like finished and ready to go again. I don't know. But there is a large crowd rooting for this. Now we didn't switch to wrap pulse again, as I keep on forgetting. Let's just do that same analysis on this chart. Okay, so this is the versus pulse. It's not in value. It's been dipping onto the 61.8, and you can see how powerful the golden ratio is, right? It just dips into it and pops out. Dips into it and pops out. And believe you me, people don't pull up the Fib tool. Very few people use the Fibonacci tool. It's just me. Let's see, 53.85, 53.49. So this is lower. So you're starting to form some hidden bullish divergence. So yeah, if you were interested in this, let's say if I were interested in this, I would have an order ready at 17.71 pulse per PDI. And then buy more when it gets to 10, if it gets to 10. But if it just bounces off here and I get my order filled now, we don't have limit orders yet. So you're going to have to sit in your computer and wait for this to come down. And expect it to go lower so you can get more if it does go lower. If you really have to have this and you believe that it's going to $1. But then again, you need to know how to manage your risk. And you can learn about that in the link in the description down below, or message me on Telegram. You can ask me questions in the chat that is there. Yeah, so there is a caveat there, right? A bit, yeah, I should use the V1, but what chart for PDI and then look at the difference. Okay, but I mean, you're getting a pretty good picture here, right? It was extremely low and it's valuable now. Or I don't know if it's valuable now. Let's look at the V1 chart for you. Let's swap to pulse. And let's look at the difference. I put it on the log chart. Oh, okay. So we actually never made a new all-time high here. But this wick here. So as you can see, I've looked at this chart previously. It's weird that most of the volume on the pulse chain pair was traded down here, right at the breakout level. Oof, that's cheap. Let's pull up the RSI. Oh, that wasn't even the high. It's much higher here on the RSI. Just remove that quickly. So that's a little bit higher. That's scary. You don't want it to come all the way to one. That's interesting. One die per one pulse chain. Imagine it does the opposite, like it just goes to one. Instead of $1, it goes to one pulse. I know that would be sorry for the FUD. This doesn't mean it has to go there. It just means that someone was accumulating this all the way down here, right, at these levels. I don't think we should take into consideration these wicks and these. It did trade up here, right? It's 37. And funnily enough, we actually rejected at that level. It's now acting as resistance. So you know what? Someone probably has a large bag of dye already, and they keep on selling down the price when it gets there. Because this is where the first time where they stepped in and got rid of their pulse. or their PDI. And when it got up here again, they started selling again. I mean, this is one that you're just gonna have to risk it, all right? And that is where managing your risk gets very good, because so this is Itropa, the main pair. Oh, it just has the die. Should we look at the USD value of it? Um, it is in value. You're in the reload zone. You're not buying the top. The RSI really hasn't reset totally just yet. Let's see where most of the volume was traded. Also down here, right at the breakout level. These breakout levels like to be retested, but those are a few zeros. You'll lose a zero down there. But that's the thing. You just have to put in small percentages and be ready to buy more if it goes lower, and be happy with getting it here if it goes lower. You need to be content with that. So many itropa pairs. That setup is so complex. Boolean down, teddy bear. Yeah, for PDI, then it should look different. So were you content with that that pair that we just showed you? I hope I did it right for you. We'll buy PDI at 5,000 or lower. Like, I'm interested to get some as well. Just a little bit lower. I like actually buying at the 78.6 level. It's this green or the blue, and it's very close there. So Itropa, all of it looks pretty much the same. I mean, the only way this guy, if he wants to rug this project, is mint Itropa, sell it down for PDI, and then sell PDI for wrapped pulse. I mean, you can probably create a bot to do it really quickly, because the market would instantly be spooked if that happened. Because he does have an admin key. Now we're getting into the fundamentals, and I don't want to go into that direction. Okay, so this stream has been a little bit more than an hour. I think that's good enough for now. Let's maybe go over some of these, see if there's anything interesting. We've looked at time, then we're getting into the PRC20 tokens, which aren't really interesting. I mean, Rapid BTC we might be able to take a look at. This is also kind of in the Itropa grouping. But yeah, this has left the station, unfortunately, versus Pulse Chain. Should have been getting it down here. I tweeted this when I thought it would break out. It broke out. I sold my double. It's coming back down. This is the nosebleed section. I can't be getting it up here. I need to wait for it to get down. So that was Rapid BTC. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Do click the like button and subscribe if you like these type of live streams. And I promise to do more of them in the future. We just need to get into a nice rhythm, and things are going to get a lot more interesting in the bull run, right? There's going to be a lot more to talk about, and we're going to be catching these altcoins pretty cheaply, and we're going to be making more pulse all the way up. So yeah, if you do want to support me, go ahead and check the links in the description. I mean, of all the courses out there, I think mine is really of value, because you're going to pay a lot of money for these things, and $75 is really not a lot of money. To join a cool Telegram channel where we chat often, where I share my buys and my sells. And yeah, I think it's really valuable. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Always play from a position of strength. Please don't get wrecked. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers for now, guys, and bye-bye.